Greetings, everyone. Just coming back from hosting 1 week of prayer and fast. And I just want to use this time to shout out all the individuals that joined me in this awesome period where we were able to cancel some negative vibrations that was heading towards many. We have been able to break some yoke, break some shackles or some chains. And for that, I am feeling so blessed. When you take time out to face the darkness and never look at the darkness as something that is evil, because as we go on in our journey together, I will reveal some things to you and I'll help you to understand that oftentimes when we hear about darkness and evil and negative things, we often hear that people like me or people from my race are associated to these darkness. When we talk about blackness, it's not necessarily an evil thing, but what we're talking about is that there are strongholds in a lot of people's lives. And because no one teach you and show you the symbols or the signs to know when you're under spiritual attack or when you are binded by individuals who understand how to use nature in a very negative way. And so 1 week of revelation and trust and believe. The revelations are so great. And at this point now, some of the things that are revealed, I have to then go into further personal and private journey to figure out what to do with some of this information. Because in the past, I always think that everything that I get, I have to teach and I have to share. But some of it is just for my knowledge, just as a guide to myself. But for everyone who joined for the 1 week, it was truly a blessing. And I come back from that renewed in my spirit, determined to place the Creator at the center of everything that I do. It's always been my goal to have the spirits of our forebears, and during this time while I was, going deep, journeying within, I learned so much things that the spirits came to teach me. And one of the things that I was taught that I can share or feel comfortable to share was when I woke up early one morning, because it starts at 4:30 in the morning and end at sunset. So from 4:30 in the morning, I'm up, and just imagine what it's like to not just wait for the spirits to guide that day, but to guide every person within this group, where every word that comes to me to impart to them testify or confirmed what they were going through or what they needed. And so the day starts at 4:30 in the morning, sometimes a little earlier, to get through all the different scriptures or all the different word or even that song that individual need to get their day started. And during this time, remember, I want you to remember this and never to forget, whenever you go to search within to find answers to protect yourself, all kinds of negative energy is going to try to attach itself to you and to attack you. So every day at the end of the day, when we would break our fast, it's like a new cleansing for me. I have to cover myself because some of what people are carrying with them is so great. some of the spirits that are attached to people that are so destructive. Remember, when you find the truth and when you impart the truth to others, there are energies, there are spirits that are going to be angry. And so they'll come and say, who are you? Why do you seek to deliver somebody? But it's not me. I can only assist somebody to free themselves based on what the Holy Spirit or the Spirit of Yah shows. And so, as it was beautiful, it was also a struggle. It was difficult. It's never going to be easy. When you're in search of truth, it's never going to be easy. Expect that when you carry the burden, and I use that in quotation, of sharing and teaching and learning, it will not be easy. I want to say also that there is a word, or there is a phrase, to whom much is given, much is expected. Do not take that for granted. The more blessed you are, the more is expected from you. The more truth you come into, the more attacks you will get. And so you have to decipher what information or message is just meant for you, to keep you, to help you grow. Because some of what you get, we assume that everything that is revealed to us through the Spirit is meant for other persons. Sometimes it's just meant for you. Sometimes the Spirit will just come to you and give you a breakthrough on how you can assist yourself, how you can, for example, grow in your spirituality, how to grow in your business, how to grow in all areas of your life. And so when the revelations come, you then have to spend time again to assess them and to pray on them, so that you remain under the protection. There are so many things happening now, and so many things where, as clear as day, the Spirit walks me through and show me the meaning of it and leads me into further truth, especially with science. And I did pray, and I asked for languages that I don't understand, and doctrines that I wouldn't necessarily understand, or disciplines like science that I would have no common knowledge about. And so when these revelations come, I don't have a reason to question them. I just give thanks. I'm going to say to somebody this morning, when you're blessed, when you're given a particular gift, guard that, protect that. Don't allow the blessings to become something that causes you to become so arrogant, because as it comes, it can go. And as you do the work of the great spirits, remember, the ancestors are still with us. We have allowed Western ideas to corrupt what we know in our spirit, to mask the essence of who we are as individuals. And I know it's hard, people. Indoctrination, when rooted in the mind and become a part of the spirit, is difficult to eradicate. But if you want truth and you ask to be led to truth, you will be. And so for me, I don't want to tell people, here, believe in me or believe in what I'm saying. I ask the spirits to give me the knowledge and the ability to connect with you as individuals, reach out to you and say things that I cannot know, that only the spirits alone could reveal to me. Because only then when I say what is on my mind, when I write these words down, they may not have any meaning to me, but they have meaning to you. And once you read them and it's confirmed in your spirit, you can then come back and say, I received that message. This was for me. This is how I want to be used going forward. So, there's always these stories out here that we can talk about that will allow us to grow our platforms, but it is not of the spirit. It doesn't bless the spirit. It doesn't teach us who we are, and it doesn't lead us to further truth. And I don't want to do those. Whatever topics I touch, I want it to come back to that source, that I give my personal opinion on something, but it must always lead back to the source. It must be a lesson. It must be a tool that brings us back to further truth. And people, let me tell you before this video is finished, there are so many lies that was told to my people and that I have embraced for so many years. But for years, I tried to get to the answer because I know something wasn't right. And there were times when I was ashamed to admit that I don't believe that stuff. But as the years go on and my encounter with the truth, I should say, I have to slowly shed the lies. And as I am used, people are coming to the point where they're recognizing that I could not know this or I couldn't know that. And remember, sometimes when you bring the truth, you're going to be accused. You're going to be sentenced and tried, especially in social media. So you have to be grounded. You have to know who you are. So when the attacks come, you're not going to be broken by it. You're going to put your faith and your trust in the Most High. It was a blessing. It was truly a blessing as I continue on my own personal journey. Those who came and joined with me for the first time saw things and experienced things and now understand some things. And the work has just begun. It is not something that you can do in a week. It's going to be something that will lead you to months and years before you truly understand some things. I'm still learning. And some of the things I see, it makes me angry when I find out the truth. But I'm not supposed to be angry. When you're delivered, even the process of being delivered might be painful, but you still have to remain humble and thankful and not rest too much on being angry because of lies that are told to you. It's more important to know that you now know the truth, and the truth must set you free. One morning when I woke up, I heard ancestor veneration. I didn't know what that was. And when I researched it, it only confirmed some things that I was already feeling and believing. There's so many truth and so many paths to righteousness, but there is one real main truth. And if you search, you will find it. If you want the truth, you will be led to it.